Okay, so welcome back. I'm Mike Desirous Prime, back with my Optimus Prime countdown, and today we are going 20 through 11. I got that video rescored, the one I was moaning about last week, Blood on the Streets, issue 2, is now live. It's been rescored, different music, yay. And then I made another one, not a Blood on the Streets, but I created the first chapter of Mystery of the Hells Guard, which I might do a separate video on because that goes back beyond DCUO. That's uploading now as we speak. It will be uploaded by the time this goes live on Friday. But anyway, just a quick update. Shit's going well. I slogged through work. It was a grind just so I could get back home for these 4 days off and carry on. I'm just fucking loving this at the minute, the whole creation process, and yeah, it's I don't want to say it's my calling, but I feel at home when I'm creating, and it's good for me. I get to entertain, I get to create, I get to feel some sense of accomplishment. I get to thrive in the fields that I'm good at. So, yeah. Anyway, we're going to talk about primes, aren't we? More prime on prime. Number 20. Let's get into this, because the last two have been pretty long. Number 20 is right here. It is the MP01, the first Masterpiece Optimus Prime. I got this off Mike. He's done some customization to it, I think, on the knees and that. I do have an Alton Towers variant of this that has no legs, or head for that matter. Yeah. The reason it ranks so low is because it's heavy. I like my big heavy Transformers, but this is just a bit too heavy for me. It's heavy, it's cumbersome, it's a great display piece. It's not something I really want to play with that much. It's not something I do play with that much. When I play with masterpieces, I tend to play with the MP10s more than this, because it's just so heavy. It's like going to the gym with this guy. But it is still a beautiful representation of Generation 1 Optimus Prime. It's just big, bulky and heavy, and you know, it's like fucking 90% die cast. I don't mean it's not that much, but it's, especially in the lower area, it feels really heavy in the lower legs, so you know, you hold it by the waist, you kind of take, I'm holding it by the legs as well, just so they don't fall off, because they are want to still pop off. It's just great figure, great representation of Generation 1 Optimus Prime. It's really starting to make my arm ache. So that's why it ranks so low. Bigger isn't always better. Except for you, Fort Max. And you, Grand. And you, Metroplex. But yeah, in this case, it isn't exactly better. Number 19 is the Age of Extinction Voyager. The mass release version. It's yeah, the reason I've talked about the Age of Extinction Voyager when I covered the Then and Now one in the last video. The reason this one ranks higher is because it looks tidier. It's got the red chest instead of the blue chest. It's got light piping as well. Check out that light piping in his eyes. It's just an all-round neater version of the figure, whereas the Then and Now, for a quick comparison, Then and Now, it has the flames on the ankles, but it's got that bit of blue on the Move It highbrow. It's got that blue on the chest that really sticks out, and yeah, it's kind of like lets it down a little bit. I mean, granted, it's got the yellow bits on the crotch area, but I just feel like this version looks a lot tidier in terms of its colour scheme. As far as the rest of the figure itself goes, it's a fun little figure. It's a fun transformation. It's the right size as well, because that leader one still isn't doing it for me. It's just too big. I wouldn't mind it so much, but it's these shoulder pieces, when they're blown up and the chest piece is blown up, it just doesn't look very good in the leader style. I don't have that, but yeah. I think when it comes to getting the Bumblebee Optimus Prime, I'll be going Studio Series, the Voyager. That looks great. That would probably be top 20, maybe top 10. I don't know if I had it, but I don't have it yet. So that's number 19, Age of Extinction Voyager. Oh, fucking hell, I've knocked the other one over now. Primal's bits are falling all over the place. Sorry. Number 18. Let's have a look. Gotta go and grab him. Oh, he's right here. Number 18. And this is the one that I mentioned with the Beast Hunters Voyager Prime. I said I only got it because I had another character, and that is this one. Remember, I said Nemesis Primes count. This is Transformers Go Nemesis Prime. And he is a fucking delight. He doesn't have that extraneous, that fucking incongruous, or egregious fucking bit of green that the Optimus has. It's just a lovely fucking figure, a great fucking retool or repaint even. I really like this. This is my first Nemesis Prime actually. I think I've got 3 now, but this is my first one. First Nemesis Prime I ever owned. It's the Go one, the repaint of the Japanese exclusive repaint of the Beast Hunters Voyager Optimus Prime. It just looks so much better like this. It just does. And these little jaggedy sharp edges that I complained that the chest and all that stuff doesn't really match Optimus Prime and the shoulders and everything. The Beast Hunters look didn't really do it for me as far as Optimus Prime went, but with Nemesis it looks great because it's got those fucking teeth on the abs, it's got those sharp bastard shoulders, and you got the jetpack and shit, and it just looks amazing as Nemesis Prime. And that's why I got the Optimus, because yeah, if I've got Nemesis, I'm going to want Optimus. It's probably why this was my first Nemesis Prime, because when I bought MP10B, I had the MP10. Up until that point, I didn't have an MP10. So, I tend to, if I go for a Nemesis, I want the Optimus first, just so I've got that counterpart. So yeah, number 18, Transformers Go, Nemesis Prime. Number 17. This is one we've already reviewed. I don't think you've seen the review at time of recording, but that's in the next few days. This will probably go up right after Blaster's up, Soundwave's uploading for tonight. Next Deluxe Voyager. Next Wednesday, it'll be the Wednesday after this goes live, I would assume. Optimus Prime Titans Return Leader Class. It's yeah, I've got a soft spot for this. Again, like I said, with the Titans Return Voyager, I have plans to use this in some Transformers the Soap related content, so it might be a bit of creative bias as to why this ranks so high. But it is a great figure. It's a successful retool of Combiner Wars Ultra Magnus. It's got the nice Orion Pax type head Titan Master there. It's just a decent toy. It has its issues. But you know, I've covered them in the review. You'll see that in a few days. I do like this, and I've got a soft spot for it. It came in, it was one of my first Titans Return figures, and it pretty much does everything the Power Master Prime does, except it's a Headmaster instead of a Power Master. So it goes in there, not in there. And yeah, it's just a load of fun. Transforming him into robot and vehicle and base mode and all that shit. And especially when you line it up with Fort Max and all that lot that we'll get to. Yeah, it's just a good little toy. It's not obviously it's not the best Optimus Prime because it's only at number 17. But yeah. Anyway, I'll stop talking about that because the review's still to come. You'll see my thoughts and feelings in that. But we're sticking with Power Masters. And at number 16 is the Generation 1 Power Master Optimus Prime. Am I going to get hate for this? Am I going to get flack for having a G1 toy so low on the list at number 16? Doesn't even crack the top 15. So here's my thing. Alright, this is complete. It has all the bits. It has the Power Master in there. It's got the shoulder cannons in there. Just a quick aside. Jinrai isn't on this list. He would be if some Japanese kid didn't steal his fucking body. I like Jinrai. But that body was supposed to be for Optimus Prime's return, and he just decided, yeah, I need a new truck, I'm just going to take this one. Didn't you? Yeah. Yeah, you look away. Yeah, you're not on this list. You don't deserve to be on this list. Anyway, G1 Power Master Prime. Kind of went off on one then, didn't I? Sorry. I own very few G1 figures. I believe I have Power Master Prime. Obviously I have Power Master Prime. Slag and Snarl. I think I got a Protector Bar. No, a Technobot arm. I'm sure I've got another. G1 Magnus. I've got a G1 Ultra Magnus. I don't have many Generation 1 figures. For the simple fact, they're not very articulate. And when it came to doing Transformers the soap, I wanted the figures to be able to move and pose and all the good stuff, just to make it a bit more dynamic. It's really hard. I think I've used this in Transformers, or I used it in Doctor Who the Magnus years, in the Prime Crash episode, and he was just stood there like that. And I can have all the other fucking ones doing all that and fucking da-da-da-da-da. Can't do it with that guy. That's why I don't own many Generation 1 toys. It's just really hard to add character to them. You can do it with the modern ones because you can pose them and make them look dynamic and shit like that. But not so much with this one. Having said that, again, it's probably creative bias. Because when it comes to making my videos, I need stuff that can move. Even if I don't always move them, I need to be able to at least pose them. And, I mean, this guy couldn't sit on the couch in Autobot House. Other Optimus Primes can. So, yeah, it might be creative bias. But that would go towards why I don't collect Generation 1 overall, not just this guy. As far as Generation 1 toys go, this is a great toy. There's tons of fun, tons of playability. I've really enjoyed just messing around with a nice, easy, blocky Transformer. Yeah, sometimes I'll fancy transforming an Optimus Prime. Revengeat? Nah, I haven't really got the patience for that at the minute. Masterpiece? Nah, fucking he'll probably crush me under the weight of his own fucking weight. G1 Power Master, just take it apart, fuck around with it, put it back together, maybe fuck around with it some more. So yeah, it's still in good nick for a Generation 1, and I think I still got the box as well. I didn't buy it fuck off! I didn't buy it complete. I had to eBay one of the cannons in the head. Came with what's he called? Haikyuu. Came with Haikyuu, just missed a couple of other bits, but I got the box with the polystyrene and insert and shit. But yeah, it's have I reviewed this? I might have reviewed this. I think I've reviewed it on my channel. It's a fun, easy little transformer. It's a good one to just mess around with. But again, creative bias. As a rule, is why I don't collect Generation 1 figures. But as far as G1 figures go, this is a very good one. Arms are a bit stumpy. That's why I keep his guns in, just so if he take his gun out. I mean, that thing's fucking longer than his arm. It's yeah. Other than that, decent. So number 16 was a G1 Power Master. Number 15. Let's see if I can get him out without killing everyone. It's a Classics Voyager. Now this was the other half of the Then and Now Age of Extinction set. And I'd never really managed to get a Classics Prime. And I kind of got it thinking, if you remember my little talk about my rant about the War for Cybertron, the original War for Cybertron figures being too small. And that this was gonna be my compromise, because he looks like a truck. Doesn't exactly look like an Earth truck though. He has a bit of an alien look to him, aesthetic, if you will. But yeah, I've got Siege Prime now, so don't need to do it. But yeah, it's a nice little update of Optimus Prime. I like his yellow eyes. That's kind of like a nice little Armada or Unicron trilogy homage. I mean, he's got his massive fucking flaps on his arms. But other than that, everything else is proportioned decently enough. This one has the chrome on his legs and hips, which I kind of find a little bit irritating. Because it's just there. It's like he's wearing fucking tinfoil shorts. But other than that, a little bit on the grill as well. But still a fun figure. Not one I fuck around with that much, but you know, when I do decide to bust him out, I'm guaranteed a good time. So yeah, number 15 is the Classics Voyager. Number 14 is the Last Night Voyager. And fuck me, is this an improvement on the Age of Extinction leader. I mean, he's got a bit of a backpack, but it's not like he's fucking carrying half a truck on his back. Doesn't have all the chrome, he has silver paint instead of chrome, which makes it look so much better, in my opinion. And it's just so much better than... If this was blown up to leader size, I'd be happy with it. But it's just so... I don't know, it's just fucking... I can't keep saying it's so much better than the Age of Extinction or the Last Night leader, but it is. I mean, it looks decent as a movie Prime, or that particular... I'm still not a fan of this particular look for Prime. I prefer his fucking original trilogy look, the whole Peterbilt. But as far as the Age of Extinction Last Night Prime goes, this is the best looking of this particular truck, the Western Star, I believe. It just fucking, it condenses everything and compresses everything. And yes, you've got that, but that's it. And a little bit on the fucking ankles, but apart from that, the rest of it's all just neatly hidden away. It's just miles ahead of the leader class figure. And yeah, not a lot else to say about it, really. I mean, he's got his sword as well back there, and his shield that aren't fucking, don't look like they're made out of piss. Yeah, fucking Last Night Voyager is just so much better than the leader class. And I'm going to put it down now, and we're going to move on so I can stop saying so much better than. See, that was number 14, The Last Night Voyager. Number 13, where are you, where are you, where are you? There you are. Power of the Prime's Leader Class Prime. This was in my top 10 of 2018. I just love this. Of the Prime Wars Primes, Optimus Primes, this is the best. As much as I love the Titans Return one, I like this one more because it's just so much more streamlined and so much more tidy and so much more clean and smooth. You've got, I mentioned this in my top 10, you've got the drawbacks being the grey bits down the side of his arms and the side of his legs. And yeah, and then you've got the legs on the back, but that's fine. But again, it's like the Titans Return one, there's a ton of fun to be had with this. You've got his truck, which is disappointing. You've got his Orion packs, which is cool. I like his Orion packs. He is packaged in with this, by the way. Because if I put Orion packs on the list separate, I'd have to put just the trailer. Trailer's decent enough. But the whole evolution thing was really good. I like that. With Hot Rod becoming Rodimus Prime and Orion Pax becoming Optimus Prime. It was a neat take on the characters. Because we'd never really seen it with Optimus Prime, had we? I mean, you always had like Hot Rod and then you had the Rodimus Prime. But you never had an Orion Pax that became Optimus Prime. And so that was a really cool feature. Especially with this particular one. And from the front, he just looks sublime. You can't complain. I mean, until you start turning it around, but even then, you can't complain that much. Again, I'm not going to go into a full review because I haven't even got to Power of the Primes on reviewing yet. But yeah, number 13 is the Power of the Primes Leader Class Optimus Prime. Oh, shit. And he's just fallen down. He better not be broken. I don't know why I screamed. I didn't fall over. You okay there, mate? Oh, it's fucking scary having these shit sometimes. I think it's fine. I don't think it's broke. I knocked down fucking Twinferno, but I don't care about Twinferno because he's a bitch. Yeah, I think he's okay. Number 12. Power of the Prime's Nemesis Prime. He ranked above the Power of the Prime's Optimus in the top 10 of 2018. And for the same reasons, he ranks above Optimus in this as well. Because it's just the black. I mean, take away, just ignore the fact that he looks badass in black for a second. Just ignore that little detail. It's just consider that all those areas, the issues that I mentioned with Optimus Prime, the grey down there, I mean, they come off, but the grey down there, and the grey there, and the legs on the back, they're all hidden a lot better because it's all black down there, it's all black there, and it's all black there. That's his gun, by the way. He doesn't have a third leg. That's not his penis. Excuse me. The colour scheme makes this work better. Optimus Prime is a success. Optimus Prime is a great fucking figure. But the colour scheme for Nemesis, the black and the teal, and a little bit of grey and the red windows, just... it takes the issues with Optimus Prime and just washes it away. It's, Paul Heyman, Brock Lesnar's mate, when he used to own ECW, Extreme Championship Wrestling, he had this mantra, accentuate the positives, hide the negatives. And that's what this does. It accentuates the positives being that it's a cracking fucking toy, but it hides the negatives. The negatives being the grey parts that were on Optimus's trailer. And it hides the negatives in the sense that the feet aren't as visible. So yeah, again, haven't reviewed this figure yet, but I'll get to it. It's just, yeah, they're both fucking fantastic figures, but I have to give the nod to Nemesis Prime because he hides those flaws. They're not as obvious on Nemesis Prime as they are on Optimus. I will say one thing in Optimus's favour though. I prefer the head sculpt on Optimus. That head sculpt seems a little bit, I don't know, a little bit too anime or too TF Prime, if you will. But he's got his sword that turns into a pterodactyl, he's got his Darksaber, and he's got his Armada Homage cannons. So it's still fucking, I love it. I love it. It was one of those must-haves for me when I found out about it anyway. And yeah, it was that must-have, I didn't even pay attention to when it was shipped and missed the delivery. But, you know, I was going through a rough time. So yeah, number 12. Power of the Primes, Nemesis Prime. Number 11. Final one for today. And we're only just at 28 minutes. Where is it? There you are. Number 11 is the RID 2000 Prime. Now this is a bit of a departure from your usual Optimus Primes because he becomes a fire truck and not a truck. But it's just fucking, again, it's just so much fun. There's just so much to do with this figure. You've got his little Optimus robot mode, you've got his big Optimus robot mode, you've got his fire truck, you've got the combination with RID Ultra Magnus. There's just so much playability with this figure. And I haven't watched all of RID. I think I've got it all on DVD. I've got at least 2 seasons. I haven't watched it all, but some of the toys, I don't have many of the RID figures. I think I've got Sideburn, Ultra Magnus, Optimus, and Megatron. And they're all fucking great. I mean, Sideburn, He's one of the Autobot car twins. He's a bit shit, actually. But I've got the Generation Skybite as well. But Megatron, Prime, and Magnus, they're all a delight. There's just so much fucking fun to be had with these boys. And Optimus, I don't know. You never get bored with this figure, is probably the best way to describe it. You've got, like I say, so many different things you can do with it, and it's just a lot of fun. A lot of fun. And yes, he does kind of depart from his traditional tractor-trailer cab, but it's still recognisable as Optimus Prime. Maybe more so in his smaller robot, but even so, it's still so much to love about this figure. And for a 2000 figure as well, it fucking holds its own really well, and it's still playable to this day. Nearly 20 years later, you can still have fun with this figure. And so, yeah, that is why RID 2000 Optimus Prime closes out this list at number 11. Anyway, that knocked 15 minutes off. I'll be back next week with the final set of this, the top 10. And then I think after that, I'm going to rank my Ultra Magnus figures. Because I just got the Siege one and I'm in love with it so fucking much. Yeah, I've probably spoiled the number one spot for the Ultra Magnuses. But yeah. Yeah, I don't know what's coming Monday, because I'm doing this a week ahead of time, or 5 days ahead of time. Not a Scoobies. It's a Voyager on Monday, and then we've got Titans Return Leader Prime on the Wednesday, and then after that will be the final part of this. Also throwing in some DCUO stuff when I get a chance to. But yeah, firing on all cylinders. It's good to be back. Doing what I love doing. Doing what I'm supposed to be doing. Anyway, I've been Mike, Desirous Prime. You've been fantastic as always. Thank you very much for watching. You shall see me next time.